Hi, this is Kim with Getting Bolder, and this is our second tip in a 12-part series called Keeping It Off, about how I lost 50 pounds 5 years ago and haven't regained it. Today's tip is pretty simple in a way: protein for breakfast, specifically 20 to 30 grams of protein. In other words, don't make your breakfast sweet, make it savory. Now, I know what you're thinking. Carbs are easy, carbs are cheap. Carbs are portable. Carbs are convenient. Carbs are kind of yummy. All true. But carbs also are pretty risky business first thing in the morning. Picture this: you're dashing out to work, you grab a bagel. Congratulations. You've just bought a ticket onto the glucose roller coaster. The problem is, most carbs that we eat in the morning, bagels, toast, cereal, things like that, break down the system almost immediately. You're flooded with glucose, and it feels good for a while. About 2 to 3 hours later, you're going to become incredibly hungry. And what are you going to crave? It's not going to be protein or fat. You're going to crave more carbs. I learned this firsthand not too long ago when I was actually taking a road trip with a group of friends. And we stopped and had a big breakfast. And I had something I hardly ever have, but boy, were good: a Belgian waffle. Carb bomb on a plate. And it was delicious. And as a matter of fact, as I was walking out the door, I said to my friend, I am stuffed. I don't think I'll be able to eat again all day. And yet, about 2 or 3 hours later, when we stopped for gas, guess who was cruising the aisles looking for something like potato chips? Another quick carb hit. This girl right here. Because that's the problem with carbs. One is never enough. Once you start with carbs, you get a craving for more and more carbs, because that quick rise of energy from carbs is followed by an equally quick and equally dramatic crash. So you want to go back up the roller coaster hill. And you can stay, if you start with carbs, hungry all day. Where the truth of the matter is, if I had gone into that restaurant and ordered eggs and bacon, which is about 25 grams of protein, it would have broken down much more slowly in my body. I probably wouldn't have left feeling completely stuffed like I did from the Belgian waffle, but because the protein would have broken down more slowly, I would have felt satiated a lot longer. There wouldn't have been that rapid rise and that rapid crash. Odds are I would have been just fine until lunch. So, what exactly does 20 to 30 grams of protein in the morning look like? Well, my favorite breakfast when I'm at home, my absolute go to, is a 2 egg omelet. I love omelets. I got this fancy pants omelet pan. It makes beautiful omelets. I feel really accomplished when I make one. And I'm lucky enough, my apartment actually has an herb garden that's right outside the door of my patio. So every morning I go out with that in my nightgown with my little snippy scissors and get the herbs of the day and put those in a 2 egg omelet. I also kind of up the protein by adding cheese. It doesn't take a lot, but I love cheese in an omelet. And then if I've got veggies, I put in veggies, seeds. I'm a seeds freak. They will up the protein uh, count in an omelet also. I just kind of vary it day by day depending on what I want. But I love those omelets. They keep me really satiated for a long time. And again, it's about 25 grams of protein. A really good start to the day. If you're not an egg person, and I know everybody's not an egg person, and I know everybody's not a cook something in the morning person, there's still a lot of options. A protein smoothie, in almost any kind you get, if you add the protein powder, is going to also bring you in at somewhere between 20 and 25 grams, which is great, perfectly fine. Another good option is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has about 17 grams of protein. You can put berries in it for taste, but if you add nuts, you're going to knock that 17 more in the 20 to 25 range. Again, a really good option if you're grabbing on the go. I love, one of my favorite snacks is an apple cut up smeared with peanut butter, but it honestly is a snack. It's really doesn't have enough protein. You think peanut butter's like a protein bomb. It's actually only about 8 grams of protein. So that's a terrific snack, but it's really not enough protein to get you going in the morning, especially if, like me, you work out right after you eat breakfast. But another option that I really love for protein in the morning, and the easiest thing of all, if you really can't be bothered with any of it, is to eat leftovers from the night before. Now, hear me out. I have always liked leftovers, um, and I don't have any problem eating breakfast at night, and I also don't have any problem eating dinner at breakfast. So I will make a chicken breast or something like, one of those small kind of pan flank steaks in the morning for breakfast and be completely happy with it. But also, I'm really into eating what's left over from the night before. And especially if you go to restaurants, restaurant portions are so huge. For a long time, I would think, oh God, that's a huge portion. I would get like two appetizers or an appetizer and a salad, something like that. And it always ended up being as much as an entree. And I never had anything left to go. And finally, I was just kind of like, well, why don't I just buy an entree if that's what I want and take half of it home? And I've got breakfast, for the next day. That is, I think, the ultimate simple way to get protein in the morning is just, scour the fridge for whatever protein packed meals you've got left over from the day before. So 20 to 30 grams of protein sounds like a lot. It's actually, there's lots of ways to get it. It's pretty easy to do. Once you get used to it, you feel so good mid morning after this type of breakfast that you'll want to keep on doing it. So that's breakfast. Next stop is lunch. And this time, yeah, carbs are going to be invited to the party, so stay tuned for the next tip. I'm Kim. This is Keeping It Off, part of Getting Bolder. Thanks a lot.